Hey guys, welcome back to Kristen Johnson Ministries. I just wanted to quickly jump on and share a testimony about what God is doing and restoring people's hearts. I was out evangelizing on Saturday and I was speaking to an older lady, probably in her 60s, and God was saying to her, she was basically saying, I'm not anti-Christianity. My husband is a minister, but I just don't believe in going to church. And as she was speaking, God started to speak to me and say the reason why is she was abused when she was younger. She was abused when she was younger. And I said to her, God's telling me you were abused when you were younger. Is that true? And she said, yes. She said, yes. And I said, okay. And then God started to say, and it happened in the church. And that's why she doesn't want to go to the church. And I said that, God says it happened in the church and that's why you don't want to go back. And she said, yes, that's true. And then she started to say, not only did it happen to me, but things happened to my daughter and her daughter. So her daughter and her granddaughter. And you see how the enemy is just a liar, how he just tries to get not only the lady herself, who was in her 60s, but then attacked her daughter and her granddaughter with the same thing, with molestation and abuse. And I said, well, you know what? Can I give you a hug? Can I give you a hug? I'm laughing because her response was sort of like, not like, okay, come on, I want to hug. It was like, I don't even want you to touch me. And she thought about it a little bit and she was like, okay, go on then, sort of thing. And she said, my husband's been praying for me for years. And God started to speak to me again and said, it wasn't his responsibility to restore you from what happened to you. God said, it's mine. I'm going to restore your heartbreak. I'm going to heal you from the wounds that the enemy tried to place in you as a young child. I'm going to restore you. I'm going to heal you from that in the mighty name of Jesus. And he started to say to her, and not only am I going to restore you, but you're a family and you're going to become the bloodline breaker. What does a bloodline breaker mean? It means that those generational things that took place one after the other is no longer going to take place in their bloodline, because she's going to know how to break it in the mighty name of Jesus. Now be very wary when someone comes and quotes Galatians 6 and says we're redeemed from the curse. If that was the case and she was a believer, why did all those things happen from one generation to another generation to another? That means you're redeemed from the curse to accept salvation, but you're not redeemed from the curse to break it off the generational bloodline. And that's why Christians really need to wake up and understand and be equipped to know how to battle, to break things off the bloodline. And I was able to explain to her, God wanted to show her how to do that while we were there. And I led her into prayer to break those generational things off so it wouldn't go down to her great-great-great-grandchildren, her great-great-great-grandchildren that she would ever meet. And God is the restorer of the heart. He's the restorer of our minds. He's the restorer of our body. And God wanted to move in her life. God wanted to move from her in her life that day and set her free from all the bondage. Imagine the decades and decades and decades. She was like in her 60s. So what she had been holding and carrying, all that weight, all that burden. And God allowed me to pray with her. And she accepted the prayer. God is a gentleman. He doesn't force. And I was able to pray with her and intercede for her. And God was just able to move. Imagine all the years that she's been carrying that. And God was like, enough, set my daughter free in the mighty name of Jesus. But not only her and her generations to come. Now I say all of that to say, I didn't know that. I didn't know her. How did I know that? God. And I give him all the glory, because he wanted to touch his daughter and say, no, devil, you can't have her anymore. I break and release her and set her free from today. And God has been doing this in the masses. In over the last week, he's just been touching people and speaking to them in no way that I've seen before. And it's just been amazing. So be encouraged. God is on the throne. He's real. He gets all the glory. I honor him and I magnify him for what he's doing. Be blessed and have a good evening. Take care. Bye.